Hello, this is Outline Man, and let's start talking about Kingdom Hearts. Kingdom Hearts is an action RPG made by Square Enix. Kingdom Hearts 1 is a funny one. This one doesn't hold up the best all the time, but it does the best it can for what it has. First thing they did was, so normally Square Enix is more known for most of their turn-based JRPGs such as Final Fantasy, and they did some Dragon Quest too, but I think that's a different branch. This might be leaning towards the Final Fantasy branch a little bit, because as you can see with this game, they got the same command menu from Final Fantasy. The attack, magic, the items, the summons, if you play like 10, I guess, which this game pretty much came out not too far from 10. Your magic looking pretty similar too. You got your Fire Augur, you got your Blizzard, you got your Thunderga, Curaga. Anyway, you know. Anyway, first things first, this game decided to do some weird stuff. They basically made their own unique story, but they tried to incorporate Disney, Square Enix and Disney, which is supposed to be what Kingdom Hearts is supposed to be. Makes no sense. It's a very weird thing on paper. Basically, they thought, let's make our own unique worlds for the beginning setting. We got our main character, Sora. Pretty weird kid. Pretty average, though. I say he's pretty weird because his outfit is kind of... What's going on here with this Kingdom Hearts? Got a red jumpsuit man, but whatever. He's our main character. We also got Riku up in here. Riku's pretty much your emo type character, but he's 1 year older because the game menu says he's 16. And you have Kairi, who apparently isn't originally from Destiny Islands. All three of these kids, they hang out on this island. I don't think they have any parents or something. It's kind of weird, but I digress. Anyway, they basically do slice of life events for like a good while. And then after that, well, it's time for the world to end. Apparently the dark side shows up, a bunch of Heartless show up, and they planet gone. Riku standing out there with his hand out, ain't making no sense. And your journey begins. Then you wake up in a place called Twilight Town. Twilight Town was crazy. Sora basically wakes up in Twilight Town and he has Pluto with him. I don't know why Pluto, Mickey's dog, wakes him up, but whatever. When you get to Twilight Town, everything looks so great and shiny. I'm like, man, we don't really need Disney up in this game, because Twilight Town looking pretty clean. It's like a small little city up in this town. It's not bad at all. Here you're introduced to the concept of how Heartless is created. You see a guy that just, I don't know why he did it, but he turned into one real quick. Turned into a Heartless. And basically you meet the Final Fantasy characters for the first time. You meet Squall from FF8. You meet Era from FF7. You meet Yuffie from, which one? FF7. Yeah, she's also from there. Sid, also from 7. Pretty much the only person from 8 is Squall that you meet. They give you a whole bunch of exposition. They start telling you, alright, you gotta go ahead and go to these Disney worlds, and you gotta save everybody from the Heartless. Because apparently the Heartless are running around everywhere. Okay. So we got our premise now. We're gonna save people from the Heartless. It's kind of weird, but sure, if that's what you want to do. The story seems kind of far-fetched. It's kind of weird. I don't know if I like it all the way, but it ain't done yet. And the main thing I was supposed to mention is when you do your boss battle, you immediately got Goofy on your team and Donald Duck. Goofy, he got him a shield, and Donald Duck, he has him a wand. One's a knight, one's a mage. And I'm like, alright, I think I can do this. This is Kingdom Hearts, right? Pretty weird, but it can always be great someday. Who knows? So now, it's time to go to your first Disney World. Now, when you about on your departure to get to these Disney Worlds, you got a few options. You can go to Wonderland, which I like to call it Alice in Wonderland, because that's what the movie calls it, or Olympus Coliseum, aka the Hercules movie. Pretty sure the game is scaled in such a way where you probably want to go to Wonderland first. You head over to Wonderland. And the gummy ship missions, oh my goodness. Let's talk about the gummy ships while we're... Gummy ship missions they're very slow and boring. Not the worst thing I ever played, but they don't feel like the game at all. It feels like you're playing it different. It feels like the game would be much better if they would take the gummy ships missions just out of the game. Just get rid of it. Just can't test it no more. I don't know why we doing this anymore. It sucks. It sucked here. It sucked in the next game, and it will keep being terrible. Get rid of these gummy ship missions. They're not doing anything. they're just plain on awful. Anyway, I digress. I was on a little bit rant with the gummy ship missions. Now we in Alice in Wonderland. I'm like, all right. So I see the little rabbit, and I see that they got bottles on the table. People getting high, and then the queen got you on trial. Okay, I'm like, all right. So basically, y'all giving me the movie when I get to Alice in Wonderland. That's basically all y'all good for, is giving me the movie, huh? So basically, that's all they do. You talk to the Chasseur cat a little bit, and it's pretty much Alice in Wonderland. Then you do a little bit of puzzle. You fight the cards. Then you fight a original heartless boss that they made called the Trick Master. Now I like the Trick Master. The Trick Master, he's like your first, well, he's not really. The Dark Side's like your first giant boss. But let's be real, with Dark Side, he put his hand down there and you just hit his hand. With Trick Master, you gotta reach up to his level and then fight him. And I'm like, all right. Okay. Then at the end of it, you see that Alice has been kidnapped after you did all this hard work to free her from this trial. So basically, we did this whole world for nothing, I guess. I guess that's what they're trying to show me, that this was really for nothing. We didn't need to do any of it, huh? Now, it's time to leave. Now, you could either go into the order of the game, which they recommend that you go to Hercules level next, or you can go to the world of Tarzan. I'll be talking about the Hercules level next, because let's just talk about them. They're battle level 2, so you want to head to Hercules next. All right, Hercules, man. All right, when we get here, it's all about this Coliseum. That's all the Hercules we get. We don't go to Olympus or none of that. We got here, and basically, Cloud's here for some weird reason. And Hades wants you to do a tournament to beat Cloud. I'm guessing Hades wants control of Olympus somehow, and somehow this tournament putting in Cloud is gonna do it because he has to beat Hercules. But you're in the plot, and you don't need to be in the plot. And let's just say that this doesn't make sense either. So we head right up at it because well, there's no plot here. You have the games though. Later on in the game, you unlock these challenges, these cups, like the Field Cup, Hercules Cup, and then you get the Hades Cup, with nothing to do with the plot at all. Makes no sense. So then, next place, Deep Jungle, or what I like to call it, Tarzan. What I would imagine a lot of people like to call it. Now this place is legendary. People got lost in Deep Jungle. This wasn't good. They did people dirty. You stuck in here with a bunch of heartless that look like monkeys. You stuck up in here with real heartless or gorillas. And they basically, well, they retelling the story, which I'm pretty sure you used to, retelling the Tarzan movie. It was a good movie, but they basically retelling the movie without the Phil Collins tracks. If it's your first time playing Kingdom Hearts, you're gonna be lost up in this place a lot, because they want you to go and do all these platforming missions, but the platforming in this game is horrible. This is when you start to notice that the platforming in this game is horrible, because they want Sora to jump on certain rocks and jump across ledges and jump over hippos, and I'm like, man, this jumping don't feel good. So why you got them jumping all day? Who knows? But here, this is where the story is starting to try to pick up, because they finally bring conflict with the group. You got Sora, Donald, and Goofy. Well, Donald started hating Sora, and that's because Donald always hates people. And Sora starts hating Donald because he's a 15-year-old kid. He has an excuse. I don't know what Donald's excuse is, but whatever. Long story short, they play like Hercules know where we can find Kairi, but Hercules don't know. Hercules can't even talk up in this, so I don't know if they didn't have a voice actor or what. We found like a gummy block, and now we basically head back to, well, Twilight Town. We head back to Twilight Town. We basically fight the guard armor boss again. And then we fight the guard armor boss again, and Sid basically fixes the gummy ship, so now we can go to, well, somewhere else. You get the warp gate for the gummy, so now you can warp into Disney places a little bit faster without taking it forever. I don't know why the game couldn't give you that at the beginning, but I digress. Most people, they'll find themselves at Agrabah. Well, first of all, this is supposed to be the world of Aladdin. We get to Agrabah. Well, it looks pretty cool, actually. I kind of like the song that they play in here, and guess what we do? We retell the movie again. There's a little bit of spice to this one this time. This time we got Jafar and Maleficent. They both right here, and they apparently part of the organization, the villains of Disney, the Order of No Quarter. That's what we call them, I guess. And, well, basically he really wants Princess Jasmine just like the movie, and we find Genie, and we get rid of the Heartless with the Wish for some weird reason. We beat Jafar, and I guess we're pretty much done. The next place you want to head to is Mostro, which is got a funny song. It just plays that song, that dun 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 dun. It's like a maze. Basically, when they got into Mostro, they said, all right, let's create some type of maze, because I think we want everybody to get lost. No, not go home. They want you to get lost. So they made this whole labyrinth. But guess what? Even though this world sucks at the Disney World, I guess it kind of tells the Pinocchio plot. I didn't watch Pinocchio in like years, so I forgot what the movie's about. But basically, long story short, he's running away from, what's that man's name? Geppetto. Yeah, Geppetto. Geppetto looks crazy to me, but that's his name. And Riku's apparently trying to kidnap this kid. Whatever reason, Riku starts talking about, well, we can steal this kid's heart. And we can, I guess he thinks he can save Kairi with this puppet, but I don't know exactly how. And it doesn't quite make any sense. And the audience is just left wondering, like, what are we supposed to do? You're just taking Pinocchio and there's no reason? You just don't like Pinocchio, huh? Funny part about it is that Riku actually helps us fight, man. He's fighting, what is he fighting, man? He helping us fight the Parasite. Yeah, Parasite Eve, or whatever that thing was called. And then he dips. We get Pinocchio back to Geppetto, and Riku dips. Makes no sense. I could go on and on about these Disney worlds, but they're starting to get annoying. Next place we get to, it's Atlantica. Oh my goodness. As a kid playing this level, it was awful. It was truly awful. They decided to change the controls. They made Sora turn into a merman or something. And the controls were just awful. It was so terrible. There was a story. It was basically the story from the movie, like they always do. Ursula was involved. We had to kill Ursula. We had to kill giant Ursula. It was terrible. King Triton keeps mentioning the Keyblade War and how he hits the Keyblade, though. That's weird, but whatever. He just keeps mentioning. I don't know how he knows about it, but hey, whatever. There's a Keyblade War, apparently, even though Sora's the only person in this game with a Keyblade, which is kind of weird, but apparently there used to be more of them. Anyway, that's the end. Nothing else relevant in this world. This world could have been skipped to. Now, here was my favorite world. Well, until like one of our later worlds, but Halloween Town, The Nightmare Before Christmas. One of the greatest movies of all time. They made Sora look real cool when he got up in here. This was the world that made me want to play Kingdom Hearts. The fact that they had Halloween Town. Nobody could believe it. In fact, I still don't believe that they got this cool world. I don't know how Kingdom Hearts pulled this off. Anyway, we deal with Oogie Boogie, and I guess it's the story of the movie, but not really. But it's like a weird story of the movie without going into the Christmas side of the movie. It was a good tale that they told. It was a very nice one. We fought Oogie Boogie, then we fight him possessing the house, and it was great. That's all I can say. All-Star Disney World. Too bad it showed up so late. Next one, this is a step back. Then we make it to Neverland. Peter Pan, which is his world, where you're basically just on this ship, this bogus boat. And it's just, the plot happens there. You meet Riku. Again, he's running around kidnapping more girls. I don't know why. Because I think we also figured out that he was the one that kidnapped Alice from Alice in Wonderland. I don't know why, but he's kidnapping these girls. We see that Kairi's there. She's looking a little bit dead though, so I guess that's not good. Sora learns how to fly up in this world when we beat the final boss, which is Captain Hook. And I guess he just learns how to fly. It's one of the weirdest things ever. It's a cop-out, but hey, whatever. It's Kingdom Hearts. This man has a key that's dealing massive amount of damage to everything in its sight, and there's a bunch of black monsters all day, so whatever. Kingdom Hearts is weird. It's very weird, but it worked because I guess we got series out of it. And it's time for the game to finally get serious. Now, I believe you have to go right back to Traverse Town again, because this game likes to do the thing where Traverse Town is like your meeting spot / hub area, I guess, where no matter what, all roads lead back to Twilight Town. Every time you go back to Twilight Town, you get bored, but you have to keep going back to Twilight Town. And they give you the super hyperdrive, so now you can go to where the game really starts, Hollow Bastion, which is the coolest dungeon ever. This is when the game turns into a Final Fantasy game, and it's great. We get up in here in this epic castle, and Soon as we get up in there, Riku's there front and center, takes our Keyblade, says, "No, you can't make it. You can't go." And I'm like, why y'all giving me this stick? Why y'all changing the gameplay? And then Goofy and Donald, you figure out how bogus they are. They become instant traitors. They leave you immediately. They're good for nothing. They want to help the boss, who doesn't need his help because he has my Keyblade. I need help. And then we got the Beast as a companion. The Beast helps us. The Beast doesn't care. The Beast just wants to find big. It's amazing and stupid and crazy all in one. We make our way through the greatest level of all time, this crazy castle. As we explore it, we fight tons and tons of Heartless. It's kind of crazy, but you feel so underpowered because you don't have your ability. Then you run into Riku. You tell him some stuff about Kingdom Hearts, and then you get your Keyblade back, and it's great. It's one of the best things ever in gaming. It's amazing. And then it's time to go beat up Maleficent. We go knock Maleficent out. That's a pretty great fight too. The punches don't stop there. Later on, we fight Riku and Ansem fuse together. We knock them out. We scrape them pretty quick. It's great. It's all great. It's amazing. We even got a secret boss up in there in the final mix. You can fight the mysterious figure. Is that what they call him? I guess they call him, or the unknown. That's what they could probably call him. They call him the unknown. But he's basically in this black coat, and he's moving like a Jedi in Star Wars, and it's crazy. It's just amazing. So many amazing moments. You wonder what happened to the rest of the game. Why couldn't this happen? I don't know why I started talking like that. It's just, man, it was just super hype situation when you get up in there. And then you basically flee, and you go back to Twilight Town, your favorite. I mean, not Twilight Town. I keep saying Twilight Town. Traverse Town. Yeah. Better stop saying Twilight Town. Anyway, we go back to Traverse Town, and, well, basically, we keep on getting new ways to figure out how to deal with this. We get a lucky charm from Kairi, and then we go back and we fight a giant behemoth in the world, and then the world is done, and then we get to a place that the series likes to call the end of the world, which is weird that they call it the end of the world. And this place is kind of crazy. It's a very crazy place, because in here we basically have the void. There's nothing here. It's like some kind of weird void where everything's purple, because I don't know if they could make it black and be scary, but you see a bunch of rocks and a bunch of things just falling from the sky. It's amazing, weird, and crazy, all leading up to you fight Ansem, Seeker of Darkness, at the end of the game. Apparently Ansem was a scholar. He was leaving reports and notebooks, and he just kept on doing. Long story short, you beat Ansem and you free Kingdom Hearts, which is some white door in the darkness, which makes no sense. It makes zero sense. But that's the way Kingdom Hearts wanted it to go about. It's the weirdest stuff ever. It makes everything makes no sense. And then at the end, it's a cliffhanger ending where Sora, Donald, and Goofy cannot get back to their reality. And then Kairi is there, and she gets separated. Riku and Mickey Mouse. Yes, Mickey Mouse finally arrives to the game. He gets locked in Kingdom Hearts, and he's stuck, never to be seen again. And that's Kingdom Hearts. And yeah, well, that game, that's pretty much a whole like story recap. If you know, I think that's about what happened. I played the game again not too long ago, and I like how the game does incorporate the Disney worlds into the plot. Sometimes they do, though. Let's not kid ourselves, because a lot of times people be talking about this game and saying, yeah, all the Disney worlds did it. No, only like 2 of the Disney worlds did it. Come on, really the only relevant ones really are kind of just Monstro and Neverland. The rest of the Disney worlds didn't really do anything with the plot at all. Princess Jasmine almost got, well, no, she got kidnapped. Never mind. 3 worlds. Agrabah was relevant because she got kidnapped in that world too. They wanted these princesses, and you start off the game with, man, the game is so weird and crazy, but it's cool. It's simple too. Your main character trying to save these friends, and he does it. But wow, was it weird. Keyblade's one of the coolest weapons ever. Funny that Riku was able to take it and then you get it back. RPG mechanics. You learn a bunch of skills and abilities. As you go, you can figure out different abilities to give Sora. You get some of them from leveling up. You get some of them from story landmarks. You get some of them for doing, like, I guess you can call them side quests or other achievements in the game. And these basically change your combos in real time. So when you start adding extra combos or doing different ones, you actually see the results of it, which is good. You get more magic as you go. You get new summons as you go. You get like Simba, the Genie, Dumbo, Bambi, Tinkerbell, and Mushu. Some of them got movies in this game, and some of them don't. Basically, you found out that when we mix a Square Enix and Disney game, we can make these characters cool again. We can give you a depressing story, even though it's buried under all this Disney. And it was a very weird thing. All from a conversation on the elevator with Estes Nomura and Disney in Japan. I'm like, wow, that's kind of weird. And Kingdom Hearts has been, apparently the series is still going. Sometimes good, sometimes bad. This is the game that started it all. Bad controls, great RPG progression and mechanics. Cool, fun-looking Disney worlds. Sometimes the story's on pause, but you always on, seeing some good stuff. It's just Kingdom Hearts. An okay main character, which is Sora. I guess he's our protagonist. He's not terrible. He's a 15-year-old kid with some funny outfit and some big clown shoes. You get your Square Enix. Really don't get too much of them. You really just get a few of them in the Disney world. Oh yeah, you grew up on an island with 3 of them, but they amounted to nothing. Titus, Waka, and Selphie, they didn't do anything, really. That wasn't even them. It's like an alternate perspective of them. This is the franchise that has started all. And they also leave you with this weird secret ending, where you see these people in these black coats, kind of like you did with the secret boss. They're basically fighting. One of them got 2 keyblades. Then he throws one to, well, it looks like Riku up in there. He throws one to Riku while Riku comes down a building. They fight a bunch of Heartless, specifically the ones from the end of the world. What do they call them? Neo Shadows? Yeah, they fought a bunch of those, which are the cool looking ones, the tall. Then I guess people were waiting for, I don't know what they were waiting for, because based on that, I didn't know if it was going to be a new game or y'all about to make a movie off of Kingdom Hearts. But this is the one that started the series. I'm just here babbling. If you made it this far into the video to hear me babble about Kingdom Hearts, leave a like. I'll be going through this entire series, like on the channel. I played the game too, but I'll be going through the whole series to discuss it, to see what's going on, man. Gotta shed some light on this series, be honest about it too. Like when it's not good storytelling, it ain't good storytelling. What is it? It's called Kingdom Hearts, so we just want the heart to be there sometimes. But it is what it is. It's gonna be a shaky series sometimes at some points, but it is what it is. Anyway, if you like this game, let me know. If you have anything you want to share, anything you want to add, leave it in the comments. Anyway, I bid everybody adieu, and this is Outline Man, and I'm out. Take care.
So, you were looking for me?
They too have been seeking the wielder of the Keyblade.
Hey, why don't you come with us? We can go to other worlds on our vessel.
I wonder if I could find Riku and Kairi.
Of course.
Are you sure?
Who knows? But we need them to come with us to help us find the kid.
Sora, go with them. Especially if you want to find your friends.
Yeah, I guess.
But you can't come along looking like that. Understand?
Oh.
No frowning, no sad face, okay?
Yeah, you gotta look funny, like us. Whoa.
Yes, but ones on happy faces.
Happy?
That's one funny face.
Okay, why not? I'll go with you guys.
Name's Goofy.
I'm Sora.
All for one, one for all.